Hi, it's Christian. Hope you are fine. Today we'll talk about the cockpit control system. As promised, I will go in deep in these topics. This is the things that makes MechaTop unique and is so important that is reported also on the back of the rulebook of MechaTop. And so, first of all, you have to imagine you are seated in a cockpit of a Mecha, and so you have four buttons at your disposal: attack, move, change, and hold. The button hold. So the battle is so fast that you have to imagine that you have to keep your finger over the button that you are going to press during the turn. The round is about 2 seconds, so you have no time to think too much and you have to press the button that you have selected. But you can decide to press this button in your turn or even in the opponent turn with reaction. So let's get step by step. Let's start from the attack button, the one with the target painted. It corresponds to the attack. So in your turn you can attack with one line of weapons. So the weapon must be loaded, you have to be on range, and so you can attack. If you decide not to attack, you can use the attack button in the opponent turn to perform a reactive attack or a counter attack. When you try to activate in the opponent turn, you have always to roll a die, because you know the action is so fast, you have to activate in the exact moment, and so you have to roll dice. In this case, it's 3 or plus for the reactive attack and the counter attack. The reactive attack is something like the enemy enter your range of your weapon, you were waiting him, and you roll a dice to activate the reactive attack. Then, if you activate, you can perform a normal attack with your weapon. Then, if the opponent survives, the turn goes on. The counterattack has 3 different scenarios. So, when you will be attacked by missiles, by sword, or by beam. This is covered in deep in the manual. But briefly, you can counteract the attack of the opponent, and if you have success more than him, it should go to that you hit him and he don't. So it's very interesting. Then the attack button can be associated with the hold button. So imagine to hold on the attack button, and this can only perform it in your turn, and you can perform an aimed attack, that is an attack with one weapon when you roll an additional dice and discard the worst dice. So for example, if you have to roll 1 die, you will roll 2 dice and discard the worst. If you have to roll 3 dice, you will roll 4 dice and you will discard the worst. Or you can perform a double attack with 2 weapons loaded and in range. For example, if you wield a double beam saber, you can hit with both hands. In this case, you have to roll 2 different dice, one for the right hands that needs only 3 or plus, and one for the left hands that needs 4 or plus to hit. And this is the attack button covered. So attack, reactive attack or counter attack in the opponent turn, or aimed attack or double attack with the hold button associated. Let's go to the move button. This one, with this symbol, allow you to move your mecha, your unit, or rotate your unit in your turn. In the opponent turn, if you have this button at your disposal, you can dodge, obtaining a 5 or plus. In this case, you will ignore all the attacks, even if the opponent gives 2 attacks with 2 different lines, you ignore all the attack, and you can move your mecha half of its movement value in any direction. This is very useful, but you know, 5 or plus, it's not so easy to obtain. So Associated with the hold button, so move, you hold button, you can boost. It means that you can move your mecha in the 3 frontal direction for the double of its movement. So if it moves 20 centimeters, you can move 40 centimeters, ignoring any obstacle. But during the boost, you cannot rotate, you cannot turn, no, only straight on in one of the 3 directions. Or you can charge, that is basically a boost, but you have the chance to use a weapon with the charge trait at the end of your boost. If you are in range with the weapon, you can perform a free attack with the weapon with the charge trait, and this is very useful sometimes. Or you can push, so you are near a mecha, you press the movement plus the hold button and you push the opponent mecha in the same direction as of you, and maybe will hurt building, you will go out of range or in range about in your another unit of your team, and so it could be useful too. Then we have the change button. This is mainly used to switch weapons, change the configuration of the weapons that you have in your hands, or reload the weapon. With only the change button, you can only reload one weapon with the reload trait. Or if you use the hold button associated with the change button, you can total reload a weapon that has the trait total reload. But you cannot reload 2 different weapons with reload trait. This is important. This is an error that sometimes happens. So we covered all the basic buttons. In the opponent turn, the change button allows you to change weapon, and this is the only thing that you don't have to roll the dice. You can activate automatically and change weapon in the opponent turn, in the opponent activation. So we covered the main button, but if you are a nuclear progeny pilot, you have at your disposal also the end button. This means that you cannot put more buttons in your mecha than the buttons that are right on the stat card. If in the stat card you have 2 buttons, you must plan only 2 buttons, not 3. The end button is an alternative that you can choose instead of the other button, but it's not an additional button. This is a very common error. So the end button, what it does, in your turn can activate the remote controlled weapon like funnel, and it works like you move and attack with the weapon, with the remote controlled weapon with N. If the mecha has in total 6 funnel, with the N button you can move and shot with 3. If the mecha has 10 funnel, you can move and shot with 5 per turn. In the opponent turn, the N button allow you to dodge, reactive attack or counter-attack like if it was an attack or move button. So it's very effective, and more, you have to obtain 1 less. So 4 for the dodge instead of 5, and 2 for the reactive attack instead of 3. And what happens if you hold on the N button? You make the distraction to one opponent pilot, so you remove 1 button tokens from his unit. It means like with telepathy, you disturb his concentration and he lost 1 button, 1 chance. You remove the button randomly from your opponent, and the game goes on. So as you can see, this system makes the rounds, the battle very exciting, very fast, and yes, this is the reason because MechaTop is unique, different from any other game, and this system is very effective with a Mecha unit and vehicle unit. So yeah, that's all. This was my presentation for the cockpit control system. I hope you like it, and for any question we are at your disposal as usual. See you, have a nice day.
MechaTop, MechaTop, MechaTop.